Hello, hello, everybody.
Hi.
Oh,
Okay.
hold on. This is probably better. Then you guys can hear us better. Hello. Hopefully that's
Yo.
better.
I hope so.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lunos. You'll have to tell me. Do we kind of sound? Does Greg and I sound semi the same? You do sound better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot to hit the gain. Oh, why did I open this without clicking to the game first? You know what I also just realized I never did? Thought I was all ready and I'd done everything, but I completely forgot to do the most important thing. I forgot to do the most important thing. Sounds about right. Hey. Yeah, I didn't set it up so that you could, I may or may not have forgotten to set it up so you could actually see the game.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Supposedly this game is slightly gory. I will let everyone know. Slightly gory. I skipped one of the games. I will be honest. I did skip one of the games.
You don't have to mention that.
Well, in case someone's like, where's this game? I decided I didn't want to play it. There's Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper, and I decided I didn't want to play it.
Too gory.
Too much. I don't like... I'm not a big fan of the games that are based off of real life history and this idea of that if he was around, he would have solved this case that didn't get solved. So, also from what I looked at it, it was kind of gory and not a great way. They didn't show anything too bad, but it was enough. What's with the creepy? Is that supposed to be the little kid laughing?
I think so. I think that was a little kid laughing.
Okay. Because it sounded like it was a weird goblin laughing in the background.
Ah!
Oh, okay, there's a little boy.
What's this?
Maybe it was the weird little boy. What the heck?
No.
Yeah. They have little dolls of themselves. Is he sniffing it?
Mm-mm.
I heard sniffing.
Just looking at it. Oh, this is a bad way to start. Yeah, this is very weird. Jesus.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh my god, why is there just a thing sticking? Like a piece of wood.
Oh, look! It's a book!
It's a book.
Maybe it's a book about pirates with a treasure map.
This is very weird.
No,
What's
I don't
happening?
think so. I wish that I had seen through all your lies. Oh, start from the beginning, not the middle. And so I
What?
decided to pick up my pen to relate the most
still
disturbing
in the
episode
middle.
of my life.
Yeah, she's still
thus
just
far.
like, yeah, no, I'm reading from the
It all
middle.
began early one morning in 1898 when Sherlock Holmes invited me to accompany him on a visit to the Marquis of Conyngham.
Don't know if you can hear Misty in the background.
No, they never can. Missy's just screaming and yelling in the background playing with her toy.
Watson, my dear fellow, we can now go and inform the Marquis that we have found the Samoan necklace, and very much faster than Inspector Baines, too, which pleases me.
Have you really solved the theft, Holmes? And so quickly?
I have indeed, Watson, and believe me, it was completely unnecessary to spread out all over London, as our friend Baines thought was best. He likes to boast that his methods are equal to mine, but once again the outcome has contradicted him.
After all these years of accompanying you upon your investigations, I thought that by now I should be reasonably capable of following your train of thought. But in this particular case, I must admit that I don't understand anything at all.
Ah, you see, but you do not observe, Watson. There lies the difference. It is a matter of course.
A matter of course, in the middle of the night, when everyone is fast asleep, the service bell within that room rings out and alerts the servants. They dress quickly and come running. but the door is locked and there is a strong smell of burning from within. A few seconds later, the master of the house himself, the robbed Marchioness's husband, the Marquis of Conyngham, arrives and unlocks the door using the sole key. A fire has started inside the room, but they have managed to arrive in time to put it out. It is at that moment that the Marquis realizes that the famous Samoan necklace, which had been safe within its glass cabinet only a few hours earlier, has now disappeared.
In order to explain, let us confirm my theory before the arrival of Inspector Baines.
It's like...
Oh, what? That was a lot of information.
Yeah, I know. It's like, Watson, I already know this. Why are you repeating it?
Yeah,
Why do you act like someone new just showed up?
It's like, what? God.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Is it too sensitive? Yeah, it might be too... You might have to turn down the sensitivity.
Yeah, this sensitivity might be a little much. Hold on. Options.
We probably should have gone through this.
Nah, it's fine. Should I turn it down?
Yeah.
I think it's down. Alright.
Better?
Okay, yeah, that's better.
Look at the broken showcase and click on it.
This window was cut with a diamond, a clean, discreet piece of work. This is where the necklace was.
See how tiny the hole is, and not one fingerprint upon the window.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's show green now. Missed the point and click part of the stuff. What?
All the windows are locked. They've not been forced.
Oh, that was weird. What about the weird mark? Oh, I didn't actually look at the weird mark. Okay.
A mark undoubtedly made by a diamond. Someone tried to cut the glass, but he was interrupted.
Therefore, the thief tried to escape through the window, but he was interrupted.
Okay, go to the chimney. You can open your inventory by hitting the right mouse button.
He has his knife.
He always has his. On the scores near the piano.
Let us examine the crumpled scores that have fallen off the piano.
Okay. Oh.
Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. These sooty prints were left by a tiny hand.
I don't understand why these music scores are covered with soot.
Yeah, they're reading one of his books.
I'm sorry, is there a monkey involved?
So there's a first person. Wait, why do I need to run? Why is running a thing?
Running's always been a thing.
Oh.
Do you remember?
Oh, right. Yee.
Or to switch to point and click mode.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Whew. That's good to know. I was about to say, I was getting really sad that there was maybe not a right to click. Hold shift just to make your character. So there's like a off the shoulder third person. There's point and click.
And there's a first person. You now search for other clues in the room.
Weird.
Not
I don't know
very
what was
well
going on
kept,
there.
this aquarium. I can see a dead fish floating on the surface.
There is a dead fish.
These documents are not very interesting, even though they're addressed to the Minister of Maritime Affairs.
The Marquis himself.
Okay.
This draft screen makes an ideal hiding place.
As the theft was committed at night, I conclude that the thief hid himself behind the draft screen and waited until he was alone in the room. Strange, there aren't any prints, yet I'm sure that the thief hid here.
Okay. I guess R would make it easier to like see if there's something certain to look at here, I guess. Huh. Well, the point and click is very strange though. I like the point and click better.
Ooh, what's
A
that?
candle. It must have fallen from the chandelier.
It is weird that there's like 3 different views.
I think
All the
to make
windows are
it more
locked.
comfortable.
They've not been forced.
Yeah, I guess whatever you play.
Footprints! You are not going to get
Oh.
on your knees to examine them.
There is no need. It is soot. The servants must have trodden in it while they were putting out the fire.
No, I wanted. Okay, well, there was a thing on the ground there, but I guess we don't.
The
care
chest
about that.
wasn't opened. The necklace wasn't in it.
Let's come over here. I saw another one, didn't I? Ah,
Strange. There are some objects here that have been knocked over.
yes. Anything?
Yep.
Okay,
When the
let's look at door.
servants arrived at the door, having been alerted by the bell, they saw evidence of the theft and the fire, but they didn't see the thief.
This door is very hard to force. The Marquis is the only person to have the key. The thief could not get out through here until eventually, when the door was opened by the servants.
What do you think, Holmes?
Let us search the room before the police get here. We might throw some light onto all this.
Okay. Well,
Was there something else we missed?
I don't know.
Yeah. I
Hello?
like how it looks like the same tree from the game. When we were in America.
Oh. Wow. Not sure.
Oh,
It's a good thing the kids are just reading one of Watson's books.
Footprints!
There is no...
no, that's not what I wanted to do. Anything else here? Ah!
Oh.
Heading towards his chosen escape route, probably the window, the thief knocked over the stool, which then caught fire.
But why didn't he try to put the fire out at once?
Oh, maybe it helped him in the situation?
Phone?
Wait, your phone.
Muted it. There we go.
Okay,
It
they
is
said
not
something
muted.
dropped from. Can I look at the chandelier?
No.
Oh, they just said something dropped from.
Well, unless you want to go into another view.
All the windows are locked. They've not been forced.
Same window.
Well, actually, I think all the windows had their own.
Yeah. It's all the same thing. They're all locked. There doesn't seem to be anything else there. I go around this side.
Oop.
Yeah, we tried that corner. There's nothing there. Oh,
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
The fire started here, just beneath the bell pull.
Whoever pulled the cord would have had his feet in the fire, unless it was pulled before the fire started.
Okay.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, you're already here.
Good morning, Inspector. You've arrived just in time.
Scotland Yard arrives like the cavalry, always in the nick of time. Ah, but I know that satisfied expression, Mr. Holmes. Have you already solved the case?
It's possible.
We have retraced the thief's rather unusual footsteps. He is a true acrobat. But what I cannot understand is that when the servant...
Watson seem kind of
Half a
dumb in
point
these
for
games.
the doctor, nil for the inspector.
I'm pleased to see that you find the situation amusing, Mr. Holmes.
Marquis, here is your necklace. Intact. Just a little wet.
It's Lupin.
Mr. Holmes,
I know, it looks like...
brilliant demonstration does credit to your reputation.
Thank you so much, Marquis. Do you wish to verify the authenticity of your jewel?
No, I recognize it. I have spent many hours admiring it, you know.
Good. I will return it to its box and...
Inspector, a bank has just been held up. You must follow me at once. Orders of Scotland Yard.
What times?
Sirs, duty calls. My regards, Marquis. And well done again, Mr. Holmes.
There, the necklace is in its box. We've lost enough time here. Let's go home, Watson.
Ah, very well, as you wish. A good day to you, Marquis.
With pleasure, gentlemen. And once again, thank you.
I say, you look rather familiar.
Yeah. I guess, you know, Lupin had to get the idea for that outfit somewhere.
This morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet, and I won't have time to.
Read it before you leave. It's outrageous.
If you insist.
Bread.
Read the paper, Holmes.
Oh, I want the bread.
No, it's the paper.
Oh, we want the bread.
Okay, what if I go into first person? Sherlock Holmes at the home of Marcus of Conyngham. The investigation is a fiasco. Yesterday, the celebrated detective Sherlock Holmes was invited to the manor of Marquis Conyngham to supply his conclusions. Following his investigation into the disappearance of the priceless Simonian necklace, it should be recalled the lady called in the detective after the police appeared flummoxed in the face of astonishing circumstances surrounding the theft. Indeed, the valuable piece of jewelry disappeared while the door to the room in which is displayed was locked. The alarm was raised by the servants, alerted by the room service bell ringing out during the night. The Marquise, the only person in possession of a key, opened the door and everyone rushed in to extinguish the fire that had started before anyone noticed that the necklace was mysteriously vanished. The most astonishing factor is that the thief was found within the room and the exits were closed. As usual, Mr. Holmes resolved the case with a twinkle of an eye and the jewel was recovered. I will not waste my time on various explanations as to the disappearance because I prefer to draw your attention, dear readers, to the last surprising development in the case. Following the departure of Sherlock Holmes, who placed the necklace in the safe himself, Marquise noticed that the jewels were nothing more but a poor copy of the original. Let it not be forgotten that the Simone necklace, although plain and without ornament, is unique because of the rarity of its pearls. Pearls which are found only in the small part of a lagoon of the archipelago of the same name. And two scientists attribute their exceptional quality to the strong density of crystal of agronite? Agronite, maybe? That they were made of. The priceless necklace brought here at the beginning of the century by Lord Benton Arwick, the Marquise's grandfather and intimate explorer, should have been part of her daughter's dowry for her marriage to the Duke of Newcastle. So I'm going to place a simple question. Should we not, in open-mindedness, ask ourselves if the necklace was not simply and deliberately exchanged for a fake by Mr. Holmes himself? I am aware, dear readers, that the brutality of this question without any preconceptions may entirely shock some of you. But the facts are there, and our thoughts and judgments should not be confused with the regard which we all share for the famous detective. It is not the first time that the global explorer has expressed its reservations as to Sherlock Holmes' method. Do not forget our counter-investigation into the escape of Arsène Lupin, the Frenchman who took the malign pleasure in tarnishing the image of our royal family, and who, by lucky chance, managed to elude capture by Mr. Holmes. At the time, we did not hesitate to consider the tactic and piety on the part of the latter. For those who are familiar with Mr. Holmes, it is quite apparent that his character traits show more than opportunist and brilliant usurper
I lost.
Usurper than the ultratic defender of the law. I would draw the attention to our readers to suggest that the description of the gentleman provided by his dear friend, Dr. John Watson, through his stories, is long way from the truth. Indeed, his behavior is derisive, contentious, haughty, and offensive towards the police, in particular towards Inspector Baines, replacing Inspector Lestrade, who is currently convalescent. Wow. Convalescent. And any habitual abuser of narcotics such as heroin and cocaine. And this why, dear readers, it's important to disregard Sherlock Holmes' good reputation in order to form an objective opinion and to ask the permanent questions. Why was the necklace that Holmes found already a fake? If that was the case, why did he not mention it? Why should he insist on placing it back within the safe himself? Has the detective some unsavory interest in the affair? Or is this simply a case of deceit in order to steal the extraordinary Samoan necklace? It is up to you, dear readers, to form your own opinions, but you can count upon your humble servant to continue revealing to the public the doubtful methods and motivations of one who in future I shall not hesitate to call Sherlock Holmes the Usurper.
To be continued.
Oh, Farley. Oh, there was more after that. Instead of verifying Prince Woodville's legacy.
This important?
The prince has abandoned any claim of inheritance. So there's a prince that's just decided, yeah, okay, fine. Read history and law and also he spent his childhood in France where he acquired knowledge. For those who might think this is handicap for getting into British high society, let me remind you that he is also outstanding on the polo field and plays bagpipes quite beautifully. We should add, lastly, he has become actively involved in charity work and adding to the poor. Okay, so there's just a weird extra thing about Prince Woodville. Okay.
Prince Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's open.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second-to-last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that rag?
About the necklace?
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
Alright, so slander.
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes, before Holmes returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Wow, just
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
Okay.
And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dowry.
What a lovely marriage.
It's a random.
Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewellery?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector?
Be my guest.
Very well. This pearl is a different color. These 3 pearls are of poor quality. This pearl is too small. It is not in its place here. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake. This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Oh, Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiries.
Goodbye, Inspector. You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
Now you're Dr. Watson.
The work table, where Holmes's homemade analyzer.
Anything else of interest? Nope. Okay.
Oh, hi, cat. Can you not?
Toby.
Toby? Hey,
I
did
have
miss
found
Toby
your
as I'm talking to this dumb cat?
No, it's just, it's the thing on the ground.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Toby. His name's been written on it.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah.
The dog that he likes to drug almost to death sometimes. That poor dog.
Alright. Oops, no.
Maybe
Won't
we
save.
should save. Oh,
Oh.
autosaves.
Oh,
My god, an autosave.
what is this world? It's auto-saving for us.
Alright, pull out the knife and start stabbing.
The police? Already? How did you know?
May we see the Bishop of Knightsbridge?
Yes. Yes, of course. But come in.
What has happened, Reverend?
What?
I don't know. It was last night, I think. I only just arrived, and I have made this macabre discovery. My God. How horrible. I haven't called anyone. How did you know that?
Holmes,
Oh,
look!
jeez.
Appallingly mutilated.
How dreadful.
Mutilated. And killed. He was such a good man. How could anyone be so brutal? Look at him. He is barely recognizable now. How could any of God's children be responsible that?
They were evidently unworthy children, Reverend.
Well, I did say this
now,
one is
do
kind of
please
gruesome.
try to calm yourself and focus, because we will need your assistance. Do you have any idea as to the motive behind this?
I haven't had time to do an inventory, but nothing appears to have been stolen. And anyway, His Excellency didn't own anything of great value.
Ugh.
I don't know what else I can tell
Stop
you.
looking at it.
Note this
Can't
down,
help
please,
it.
Doctor.
I noticed that his fingers were
Doctor,
pulled up backwards.
But you aren't the police?
I was like,
No,
oh.
Reverend. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson.
Am
We are here
is
at
that
the
the reason
request
why
of the
I'm
bishop.
here to just do
In
all
that
the
case, I
gross
must ask you
stuff?
to leave. And not to touch anything. I must get in touch with the authorities without further delay.
Reverend,
Looks
when
like
the
he's been punched
inspectors
a
of
few times
Scotland
to
Yard
Yard,
find
too.
themselves at a dead end, which they quite often do, I assure you, then they
Painful.
turn to me for help. If you will allow us to continue our investigation, then you shall have the answers to all of your questions.
Out of the question! I don't even know you! I'm going to call the police, whether you like it or not.
It would be better for everyone, Reverend, if you kept your temper. Watson, are you taking notes? This affair promises to be a complex one, therefore we must not overlook the slightest detail.
Yes, Holmes, I am keeping a meticulous set of notes. I have created a very clever deduction board. One thing we can be sure of at the moment is that this crime was not for gain. The Reverend has informed us that nothing valuable was stolen, and indeed it would seem that the bishop had nothing of any worth to take.
Very good, Watson. Do continue.
Wealth. Bishop did not have anything of value, even in his safe. Okay.
We haven't checked the safe.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, you're in first person still.
Do
you need me to do this?
The fingers have been crushed and violently
You wanna look
struck.
away?
God, everyone probably wants to look
His
away.
forearms have been ripped. Pieces of skin have been torn off. What do you think, Watson?
I'd say that he was eaten alive. Yet I've noticed a curious degeneration of the skin tissue around the wounds.
The fingers have been crushed and violently...
Yeah, we know this.
I think he was being tortured.
His stomach is covered in scratches. Quite evidently, they weren't made recently.
So, these
Oh.
wounds were not made by his murderers. A piece of rope that was used to tie up that poor man.
You need me to... You're making that face.
Well, growth, man. No, why not? Do I just go back?
His chest has been lacerated, I would say, with a very sharp and
Jesus.
fine blade.
Yeah, but these are old, they said, right?
No, they said the stuff on his stomach.
Oh.
You can see by his expression that he suffered terribly.
His mouth is covered in
No
blood,
kidding?
and I can make out strips of skin between his teeth. My dear friend, everything
Ew.
points to this man having gnawed at his own
Did
forearms.
you leave the room
That's
for a minute?
unbelievable, Holmes.
I did warn this one is gruesome. I guess that's that.
Oh, there's a finger on the floor.
Oh.
A finger. Apparently, it doesn't belong to the bishop.
You know,
of
he had all
Knightsbridge.
his fingers.
How dreadful. This poor man was tied just below the knees.
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly to free his feet.
His feet have been burned.
My first impression is that he wears a size 9 shoe.
You? But what does it matter, Holmes?
These burns are terrible.
My God, Holmes, this man was horribly tortured.
Okay.
Looks like we're good.
Where else we need to look at on this poor dude? Oh, good. I'm glad it's on the thumb. Let's get rid
Something
of
is
that.
missing here.
Oh, yes? And what might that be?
His shoes. Watson, his shoes are missing. This stove is filled to overflowing.
Let's...
This metal rod is for fastening the chilies. It's a cilice, designed to bruise the person wearing it. The bishop wore it as repentance.
Oh, that's this.
A whip?
Yeah,
No,
that was the stuff on
it
his
is a
stomach.
discipline for self-flagellation. This very pious man must have had the habit of mortifying his flesh as a means of repentance.
Okay.
Oh.
I am missing some information. Impossible to open it. Reverend, I'm missing something, an implement with which to open this chest. Could you tell me where to find it?
No, go to the devil!
What are you afraid of, Reverend? What is inside the chest?
I'm not afraid of anything. In fact, I do have the necessary implements, but if I have to give them to anyone, it will be to a representative of the law and no one else.
I don't know why they didn't just let him go get to the police. Or Watson go get the police with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
If they were
A
worried that he was
surgical
going to
scalpel
run.
covered in blood. There isn't any doubt. The wounds on the bishop were administered with this scalpel.
Closed. The veranda door hasn't been forced. Strange. Reverend, might I have the key?
No!
You already
You
know
have no
he's...
authority here. Let me call the police.
Perhaps we should listen to him, Holmes.
Perhaps you should let me get on with this, Watson.
Is he like blatantly
This
just
door
being
has
like...
not been
I don't
forced.
know.
Where does it lead, Reverend?
To His Excellency's room. There is just a mattress and a stool.
The bishop's bedroom. It is very austere. Nothing in particular here. The picture of Peregrine Maitland, commander of the infantry brigade of Her Majesty's Guards at Waterloo.
The Bishop of Knightsbridge has the same name as his ancestor, an illustrious family.
Okay, we already know we can't do anything with that. Get back behind here.
A bottle of whiskey. I can make out fingerprints stained with blood and dirt. There is blood on this paperweight.
There's blood!
This paperweight was used to crush the victim's fingers.
Wait, he says blood.
A bottle of
No! Why did it do
A
that?
broken bottle of whiskey. However,
Why
the
do we
Bishop of
gotta keep-
Knightsbridge was known for his sobriety. It would seem that the brutes who tortured the bishop to death were intoxicated with alcohol.
Or they used it to start the fire.
A broken phial and blood near the neck.
What a strange smell. Phew, chemical components, I think.
Well, at least he's using his knowledge somewhat. Okay, well, I guess this is it?
Yeah. So do we have to look at our... Because he was... Or did we look at that corner? There we go.
Miranda wasn't searched. Shoes are missing. Oh.
So the veranda
Did not own anything of value, not even a safe. The veranda wasn't searched. The murderer were looking for something certain. The murderer got the wrong person. Bishop took the murderers by surprise. Kind of seemed like they went for him. They didn't care about anything. They
Yeah.
just wanted him. Able to open up the safe. Victims are savagely tortured. Bishop was murdering himself. He was used to pain. Yeah, Bishop resisted the torture. Were unable to open up the safe. They didn't get what they wanted.
So,
I'm guessing green is you've done good.
I guess so.
Bishop gnawed at himself. The broken flask has some blood on at its tip. Yeah, I think they made him drink it because he had blood all over his face.
Either that or they used the glass in the torture.
Yeah, but it was on the top, on like where you would drink it. And then it was cracked later once it was dropped on the floor.
Cause
They're looking for something certain.
yeah, I think it's that first.
Yeah. They were looking for something certain. Yeah, they didn't get what they wanted. For sure. I guess give one more.
Cookie Loo.
Take the first person.
Well, stop using it.
But it helps me look. Oh.
Watch where you're putting your feet, Watson. Have you noticed these prints upon the ground?
Well, yes, those muddy marks.
See here, Watson. Footprints can often provide more vital information than the very best of informants.
Yes, if you know how to make them talk, that is.
It's child's play, Watson. We will begin by excluding the contaminating prints, which are yours and mine from where we came in, and those of our dear Reverend who was so impatient to call the police. This print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems recent. It is not a labourer's shoe. Hobnail boots like those worn by labourers. A fragment of stone. Peculiar. Well-worn shoes with an odd pattern on the soles. Size 9. Size 9. Size 9.5. Size 9.5. Size 9. Size 9.
Okay, so there's a 9 and then there's these 9.5. Oh, I would like this one.
Hobnail boots like those worn by labourers. Hobnail boots.
Okay.
Is that?
How many criminals were? Okay, well this is his shoe, obviously. So 2?
Yeah, so I think there's 2. 2 criminals.
That's not right. Start again.
Oh, is this a different person?
Because there's
his shoe, but I guess there's 3?
Perfect. We now know that there were 3 crooks.
Because I guess this is a different shoe.
I guess.
What do the footprints reveal? One man joined those who were already in the room. One man left the room wearing different shoes. One man was curious to not leave footprints. All men left the room. On one leg?
I think the second one, because the bishop's shoes are missing.
Strange but true. One of the crooks was wearing a different pair of shoes when he left here. Therefore, we have 3 men who came in and left again, but one of them was wearing a different pair of shoes from the ones which he came in with.
So, all we have to do is look for a workman who likes Italian shoes.
Okay. What?
Who are we? Oh no. Oh, we're in the point and click mode. Never mind.
Yeah.
I thought we were like, are we Watson?
Okay, so
Shoes.
shoes. His everything. So yeah, one of the murderers left wearing the bishop's shoes
Yeah.
for some reason. One of the murderers came back for his shoes.
I think it's the middle one. Because why else would he switch out shoes? Murderers were someone's. And then
Perfect. It is
Wasn't
evident
right.
that the Bishop of
Yeah.
Knightsbridge's
'Cause it wasn't
killers were
green.
after something specific, and that they did not find it. Reverend, I shall ask you one more time. Open the chest. The item they were seeking must still be inside. It is unlikely that they will let this matter rest. They will most certainly return to finish what they started.
And I'm telling you once more, the chest is locked and shall remain so.
Very well. We have reached an impasse. You are a stubborn man, Reverend, Watson, accompany our friend to the police station and return with Inspector Baines. Baines and no one else. I shall wait for you here. Go! Alone at last. Now I can continue my investigation.
Well, that is not a very good idea. Everyone thinks you're stealing from people's.
This lock should be easy to pick. Let's see.
Do I have like a...
We've got that metal thing.
Oh, we do have a metal stick.
This lock should be easy.
Okay.
Okay, so it needs to go down, and then this part needs to go up, and this part needs to go up.
I think... Oh, no. I think that's too much. I think that part, and then that. Yes?
There we are. It is simplicity itself.
Yeah.
There isn't anything much in this room. It must be used as a reading or meditation room.
What is that at the bottom?
An ink stain, quite fresh. This stain is just on the edge of the rug. Let's see.
Yeah, this is a
There
very
is nothing
bad
on the
choice.
floor, yet the ink must have soaked through the rug.
Because he said that it wasn't taken. What would you make you bet it's going to be taken? It's going to be gone.
This
And they're gonna turn
inkwell
around
was
and say it
tipped
was
over
us.
recently. Apparently, someone wanted to hide this statue. This horse resembles a large chess piece. There is a message underneath this statue. Let's see.
Lack of imagination. Use your passion for chess. The last square on which the knight will place himself after having covered all the others will be the right one. I love you.
This message was written by a woman.
Weird.
But for whom was it intended? Interesting, this chess game.
Can we look at the where the inkwell would have been?
There is nothing on the floor,
Well, no,
yet
I
the
mean,
ink...
because it looks like the carpet was spun around.
Oh, wait. I just had to find the
An
perfect
ink
spot.
stain. The ink stain on the floor comes from the ink on the rug, but they are not in the same place. Someone has moved the rug recently.
Wait, hold up the rug the rest of the way?
That is curious. There is something strange on the floor. Certain stones have been marked out.
Oh, this
just
is
like
the
a
board.
chessboard. That is curious. I
We
need...
might have to use the horse. Or the knight, I mean. So what was the clue? Use your passion for chess, the last square which the knight will place himself after having covered all the others. Okay, so we have to...
I don't know anything about chess.
Well, the knight moves in a direction, two spaces, and then he can move either left or right. So,
Yeah, we have this spot or this spot currently.
yeah. Okay.
Am I supposed to fill the whole board?
Yes.
That's not right. Start again.
Or
You must have had it right, though.
up to... Unless you just hit a point where you can't...
Probably.